My friends, stop struggling. Stop exhausting yourself in the endless pursuit of what you already possess. The very act of trying hard to manifest reveals one thing, that you believe you do not yet have it. And as long as you stand in that belief, the thing you seek will always remain just outside your reach. The greatest misunderstanding in manifestation is the belief that more effort brings faster results. Many believe that if they try harder, repeat affirmations longer, visualize with greater intensity, or force their mind into a state of focus, they will somehow speed up the process of creation. But in truth, this very effort reveals a subtle mistake. It declares that the thing you desire is not yet yours. Think of it this way. If you already had what you wanted, would you be striving for it? Would you be exhausting yourself in struggle? No, you would be at rest. You would be living naturally in the state of having, not reaching. Effort belongs to the realm of lack. The moment you strain, you confess separation between yourself and your desire. This is the illusion of effort, the belief that the harder you push, the closer you get. But manifestation is not like climbing a mountain. It is not about distance or struggle. It is about recognition. What you seek is not outside of you. It already exists within you. Your consciousness is the birthplace of every experience. By trying hard, you only reinforce the false belief that what you want is far away. Look at nature. Does the seed struggle to become a tree? Does the sun wrestle with the sky to rise each morning? No. Creation flows without resistance, because creation is already complete. The seed simply contains within itself the pattern of the tree. Likewise, your desire contains within itself its own fulfillment. It does not need you to force it into being. It needs only your acceptance. When you catch yourself striving, pause. Ask yourself, am I working from the state of lack or from the state of fullness? The shift is subtle but powerful. Move from I must get to I already am. From it will happen one day to it is mine now. This is not effort. It is awareness. Release the illusion of effort. Manifestation is not about doing more, but about being more. Not about pushing harder, but about resting deeper in the truth that it is already done. Everything you see in your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner consciousness. Reality is not created by chance, nor is it shaped by effort alone. It is born from the silent assumptions you carry, the beliefs you hold, and the feelings you nurture within. Your consciousness is the seed, and your world is the harvest. Most people make the mistake of believing that circumstances create consciousness. They say, I feel poor because I have no money. Or I feel lonely because no one loves me. But the truth is the opposite. You have no money because you persist in the consciousness of poverty, and you are lonely because you continually affirm separation in your inner world. Outer events are nothing more than mirrors, reflecting the inner state back to you. This is why trying harder to manipulate the outer world brings so little change. You may struggle, plan, or fight to shift your circumstances, but unless you transform the consciousness from which those circumstances spring, you will keep repeating the same experiences in different forms. You cannot outwork your state of being. You can only outgrow it. Imagine holding a movie reel. No matter how many times you project it on the screen, the images will remain the same unless you change the reel itself. In the same way, your consciousness is the reel, and the world is the projection. If you want a different scene, you must change the inner film. So, how do you do this? By dwelling not in effort, but in assumption. By accepting as true the reality you wish to experience. When you hold a new idea within, and you feel it as natural, the world has no choice but to conform. Consciousness precedes form. Being precedes having. Therefore, Take responsibility for the inner state you nurture. Guard your imagination, for it is the womb of creation. Do not allow fear, doubt, or frustration to dominate it, for these too will be mirrored in your world. Instead, clothe yourself in the consciousness of what you desire. See it inwardly, feel it deeply, live in it now. And soon, the outer world will faithfully reveal it. Remember this unshakable law. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are in consciousness. The true secret of manifestation lies not in effort, but in assumption. The law is simple. Whatever you assume to be true, though it may be unseen, will harden into fact. Life does not give you what you plead for, nor what you beg for. It gives you what you quietly and consistently assume. Assumption is more than wishing. Wishing says, I hope this happens someday. Assumption declares, this is mine now. Wishing lives in separation, while assumption rests in fulfillment. One creates distance, the other creates reality. The key is to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled. Not tomorrow, not later, but here. Now, in the silence of your imagination, consider how you naturally assume things every day. When you set an alarm for the morning, you assume you will wake up tomorrow. When you place an order online, you assume the package will arrive. You do not question it, nor do you stress over it. You simply accept it as done. That same effortless acceptance is how manifestation works. When you assume the feeling of already being who you desire to be, your entire being shifts. Your thoughts align with it. Your emotions support it. Your actions flow naturally from it. You no longer act as one trying to get there. You live as one who is already there. And because the outer world is nothing but a shadow of your inner state, it reorganizes itself to confirm your assumption. But here is where many falter. They look outside too quickly, searching for evidence. And when it has not yet appeared, they abandon their assumption. They return to wishing, to hoping, to doubting. But assumption requires faith. It requires persistence. You must wear it like a garment until it feels natural, until you forget you are pretending, because the state has become your reality within. Assume the wealth you desire. Assume the love you long for. Assume the health, the freedom, the success. Close your eyes and dwell in the scene that implies your wish fulfilled. Feel it real. Walk in it. Speak from it, think from it, until the invisible becomes visible. For this is the law: as you assume, so shall you become. The moment you begin to struggle, you declare that what you desire is separate from you. Struggle is the language of lack. It says, I don't yet have it, and I must fight to earn it. But manifestation is not about wrestling with life. It is about resting in truth. The truth that what you seek is already yours. Detachment is not about indifference, nor is it about suppressing your desire. It is about rising above the struggle and entering into quiet assurance. When you detach from struggle, you stop trying to control the how and when of manifestation. You no longer chase the desire with desperation. Instead, you allow it to unfold naturally, knowing that it already exists in the unseen. Think of the farmer who plants a seed. He does not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. He does not panic if the sun hides behind the clouds for a moment. He trusts the process because he knows the seed contains within it the pattern of the harvest. In the same way, when you detach from struggle, you trust that the seed of your assumption will bloom in its own perfect time. Detachment is the bridge between inner knowing and outer fulfillment. It is the silent confidence that your inner world has already secured the result, even if the outer world has not yet reflected it. Struggle is born of fear and impatience. Detachment is born of faith. And faith always produces what it imagines. When you cling tightly, you resist. When you release, you allow. Detachment is not giving up. It is letting go of resistance. It is saying, I have assumed the end, and now I rest. This rest is not laziness, it is alignment. It is the deep inner stillness that allows creation to flow through you without obstruction. So, release the need to prove, to fight, to force. Enter the state of rest and let the world rearrange itself. Detach from struggle, for struggle is a confession of lack. Instead, live in the quiet joy of fulfillment and watch how life effortlessly delivers what you already accepted within. The secret of manifestation is not found in hoping for the future, but in living as though the future is already here. To live in the end means to occupy the state of being that reflects your fulfilled desire right now. It is to accept with unwavering conviction that what you long for is already accomplished. Most people live in the middle. They look at their present circumstances and measure their faith by what they see. They say, I will believe when it happens. But true manifestation requires the opposite. You must believe before it happens, and you must live from the end, even when the evidence of your senses tells you otherwise. The world you see is but a shadow of what you carry within. To change the shadow, you must change the source. Living in the end is not daydreaming. It is not wishing. It is identification. When you live in the end, you clothe yourself with the feeling of already being the person you desire to be. You think from that identity. You speak from it. You walk in it. You no longer wait for it. You embody it. And when you embody it, the world has no choice but to yield to the reality you have assumed. Imagine desiring wealth. Living in the end is not thinking of wealth as something you hope will arrive. It is thinking from wealth, feeling the relief of already being financially free. If you long for love, you do not imagine being separate and waiting. You feel the joy of already being loved, secure, and chosen. This shift is subtle but profound. It moves you from the posture of longing into the posture of possession. Every outcome you desire already exists as a possibility. To live in the end is to select it, dwell in it, and persist until it becomes natural. The outer world may not immediately change, but if you remain faithful to the inner assumption, reality will bend to your conviction. So, live in the end now. Do not wait for signs or proofs. Rest in the certainty that the end is already yours. And when you live there, life will carry you effortlessly from where you stand to where you have already arrived within. Faith is the invisible bridge between the unseen and the seen. Without faith, the desire remains locked in imagination. With faith, the unseen becomes flesh and the invisible takes form. Faith is not a fragile hope, nor is it mere positive thinking. It is the inner conviction that what you have assumed is already yours. When you live in faith, you no longer look for proof in the outer world. You no longer ask, when will it come, or how will it happen? For faith does not beg for evidence, it creates it. Faith rests in certainty, even while the senses shout denial. It holds to the unseen with such firmness that the seen eventually conforms. Consider the power of faith in daily life. When you switch on a light, you do not question whether the bulb will glow. You trust the current, unseen yet undeniable. When you place a seed in the ground, you trust the soil to yield its harvest, though you cannot see the process. That same invisible trust must govern your desires. Faith is the soil in which your assumption grows into reality. The struggle many face is this. They believe for a moment, but when the outer world shows no immediate change, doubt creeps in. They abandon their assumption and return to fear. But true faith persists. True faith does not waver with time. It does not look for signs, it creates signs. It does not bend under pressure. It stands firm until the unseen is revealed. Faith is the final key because it carries you from assumption to manifestation. Assumption clothes you with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, but faith keeps you clothed in it when the evidence of the senses tempts you to strip it away. Faith refuses to surrender to appearances. It anchors you in the unseen until it becomes seen. So, walk in faith. Hold the end in mind, feel it real, and rest in the quiet, knowing that it is already yours. Do not wait for the world to confirm it. Let the world catch up to your conviction. Faith is not passive. It is the most powerful action you can take. Remember this eternal truth: as you have believed within, so shall it be without. Faith is the key. Stop trying to make it happen. Rest in the assurance that it is already yours. Close your eyes tonight and live in the end. Feel the reality of your desire as though it were the most natural thing in the world. Do not struggle. Do not chase. Simply assume and rest. For the world is nothing but a mirror of your inner state, and it must reflect what you have accepted within. Walk in faith, live in the end, detach from struggle, and you will see that what you once longed for has always been yours.